Alright, everyone, welcome back. The boy reacts like fire to their quiet voice.
当たり前だ。僕に死ねって言うのか。いいか、サーバントがいないんじゃ殺しようがないし、マスターなんてやってられない。僕は普通の人間なんだ。いわば被害者側だろ。そういうのを狙ってさ、一方的に殺すなんて不公平じゃないか。
The priest does not answer and only looks at the intruder, as if to peer within his skin, bones, and meat.
なんだよ。なんか文句あるのかよ、お前。
意見などない。君は今回一人目の放棄者であり、我が教会始まって以来の使用者だ。管理者としてここに根付いた父に代わり丁重にもてなそう。
なんだよ、リタイアしたのは僕だけだっていうのか。くそ、みっともない。こんなことじいさんに知られたらなんて言われるか。ああ、それもこれもお前たちのせいだぞ。ライダーなんてカスをつかませやがって、あんまりにも不公平じゃないか。
He strikes the ground in rage. The sound of the punch echoes like a bell, and the priest smiles with great interest. That's actually on Shinji, because Ryder is actually a great servant if you know how to use her and if you plan well. And Shinji is not a planner; he's a user.
ではライダーは役に立たなかったと。
そうだよ。たく、大口叩きやがって。
Ah, he did that. Come on, dude.
あいつ、この僕があんなに手を貸してやったのにあっけなく死にやがった。あれなら他のサーバントの方がよっぽど役に立ったんだ。ああ、それでも僕はうまくやった。ちゃんとじいさんの言いつけ通りやって準備は万全だったんだ。だっていうのにあいつら揃って邪魔をしやがって。2対1だぞ。そんなの勝ち目なんてないじゃないか。そうだ、負けたのは僕のせいじゃない。単にサーバントの質の差なんだ。それをあいつら偉そうに勝ち誇った顔しやがって。
And he crawls on the ground. He hits the floor, grieves his misfortune, and reflects his obstacles. But his resentful voice disappears quickly. Hatred of his level cannot break the silence in this church.
くそー、くそくそくそくそー。
He repeats his agony. In the midst of it, the priest's footsteps echo through the room as if to break the frozen air. The priest slowly puts his hand on the boy's shoulder.
つまり君にはまだ戦う覚悟はあるということだな。
He looks down at the loser and says so with a kind voice. Well, at least even he knows he's a loser.
Eh?
He can understand the priest's words. The priest in black has a friendly smile on his face.
君は運がいい。ちょうど一人手の空いているサーバントがいてね。
The priest offers new salvation as if suppressing his joy. School's over. It must be because of what happened yesterday. The students are not allowed to stay at school for any reason. There's still time until the sun sets. I'm worried about Sakura. I'll go to the Mato household. Oh yeah, I have to contact Sakura. Meat's on sale day. I'll make a huge meal to make Saber happy. Yeah, we're gonna have to make her happy. She's been I wouldn't say disappointed, but I feel like we haven't been doing her much justice lately. As much as I'm worried about Sakura, I will do this.
あ、商店街。今日特売だったっけ？
Saber's looking forward to dinner, so it might be good to make an expensive meal today. I can contact Tosaka after I get home.
牛フィレを買ってしまった。
And veal too. It's just rare, expensive, and doesn't taste that different, but I fell for the butcher sale talk and bought it.
まあいいけど安かったから。
I can consider that I've blown a day's worth of work on it. Saber looks like she likes meat. We've been having home cooking all these times, so I'm sure she'll be happy if I make something like a Western style full of course.
これで前菜からデザートとチーズまで用意できたら文句なしなんだが、財布がな。セイバーはともかく藤姉までそんなグルメな真似をさせたら後で。
I see something strange out of the corner of my eye. I wonder what it is, and turn to the cake shop floor. Is that some kind of uniform? The girl wearing a uniform unfit for this downtown area is troubling the woman at the cake shop. I get curious and stop. From what I can hear, it seems the money the girl is trying to pay with is not in Japanese yen, and the woman at the cake shop is stumped as to what she can do. And on top of that, it seems that the girl can't speak much Japanese. Well, I got a bargain. I guess I'll do something about it since I happen to walk by.
ありがとうございました。
I'm thanked twofold and leave the cake shop.
ありがとう。ケーキ、助かった。
This girl thanks me as well in funny Japanese, but I haven't done much. All I did was money exchange, and I just traded the 2,000 yen bills I had with the paper money she had.
お釣り、余ったからあげる。
ね、あいや、さっきので十分だって。10フラン紙幣ちゃんと2枚もらったから。
The girl dressed like Nightingale looks around absent-mindedly.
買い物終わったからさよなら。
I believe this is Ilya's servants or caretakers. She bows and leaves. I watch her go, thinking to myself about the unusual event. Then,
ああ、そうだ。ケーキ好きなの？
I get curious and ask her. The girl in white stops and stares around absent-mindedly.
うん。ゼラ、こういう庶民の味好きだから。
She gives a vague answer. I check the student directory as soon as I get home and call Tosaka. She picks up after dozens of rings and right when I was about to give up.
はい、東坂ですが。
The voice is definitely Tosaka's.
もしもし、エミヤだけど、今時間いいか？
はあ？何ふざけてんのよ。ってあれ？嘘？本当？
あのな、お前にいたずら電話かけるほど余裕ないぞ、俺。
ああ、そういうんじゃなくて、ごめん、ちょっとびっくりしただけ。それで何かあったの？エミヤくんの方から電話してくるなんて。
何かって一星のことだよ。朝約束しただろ。今日中にはっきりさせるって。結論から言うと、一星はマスターじゃなかった。体のどこにもレジはなかったから間違いない。
本当？驚いたわ。本当に今日中に調べるなんて。けど一星は白か。まあ当てはなくなったけど、それならそれでいいか。
I don't know if she's relieved or disappointed. I can't grasp her reaction too well over the phone.
とにかくご苦労様。マスター探しの方針はまた明日考えるとして。要件はそれだけ？なら切るけど。
I don't have any more business, but there's something I'm curious about.
東坂、さっき驚いてたみたいだけど、そっちで何かあったのか？
I can feel Tosaka's bewilderment over the phone. After a brief silence,
別に。あなたの声、電話だと少し違って聞こえたから驚いただけよ。
she answers in a cold voice and hangs up the phone. That was an odd way to say goodbye. I shouldn't be surprised. That's very Tosaka. Dinner ends before I realize it. I came home, trained with Saber in the dojo, then Fujine came home and I made dinner. We ate it together and now it's already past 8.
セーバーちゃん、もしかしてあっちじゃ有名な達人さんなの？セーバーちゃんが教え出してからこっち、シローったら別人みたいなんだけど。
それは私も驚いています。ですが、シローの死は別にいるようですから、私の手腕ではありません。
We're drinking the after meal tea now. It's good that Fujine and Saber are getting along. I don't want to interrupt, so I'll quickly drink tea and rest my body that is tired from training with Saber.
師匠が2人？ありゃ、二股かけてるってことかなそれ。
Can we not use those words, Fujine, please? Because that would garner a lot of misunderstandings.
本人に自覚はないようですが。ですがまあ、結果がいいので黙認することにしました。確かに、シローは自分に合った戦法を身につけた方がいい。体はとうに出来上がっているのですから、あとは自身をうまく動かす思考を組み込むだけです。
セーバーちゃん分かってるじゃない。そうそう、シローはずっと鍛えてきたんだから体はしっかりしてるのよ。今まではね、本人にやる気がなかっただけなんだから。
体を鍛える。確かにあのような道場があったのなら鍛錬にも身が入りましょう。加えてタイガといういい対戦相手がいたのですから素質がないはずがない。
She nods emotionally and takes a sip of tea. Then,
あの道場で剣道をするのは久しぶりだよ。セーバーちゃんが来るまであそこは剣道場じゃなかったもん。
Fujine corrects Saber while biting on a rice cracker.
剣道場ではなかった。シローは道場で竹刀を持たなかったのですか？
Saber looks at me with surprise.
まあそうだけど、親父が死んでからは使わなかったからな。
そうよ。シロー、暇さえあれば桐次さんと試合してたのに、桐次さんが亡くなったら途端に竹刀を持たなくなってさ。私は悲しかったな。
Fujimura Tiger nibbles on the rice cracker while resting her head on the table. I have a bad feeling about this. When Fujine acts like this, the conversation always goes to...
ああ、どうしてかな。あの頃は剣道少年だったのに、今じゃプー太郎だよ。そりゃお世辞にも剣の才能はなかったけど、弓道はちょっとこの子大丈夫なのかなって思うぐらいだったのにやめちゃうしさ。
やっぱりそうきたか。藤根、昔の話なんてやめろよな。後ろ向きだぞ、そういうの。
I glare at her. Fujine sulks and eats the rice cracker. Ooh, it seems she's done now.
ほう、シローの幼年期の話ですか、タイガ。
So why do you have to bring the conversation back up again, Saber?
何？聞きたい聞きたい。
Oh god, no.
はい、興味があります。
The glint in her eye the moment she heard this. Well, then again, why is she so curious? She can actually see into his memories anyway. Or maybe they're not that connected yet.
よーし、ならお姉ちゃん話してあげよっかな。
The morale of Fujimura Taiga's army goes up due to the reinforcements brought on by Saber. I guess it can't be helped. I don't want to interrupt, so I guess I'll drink tea silently. I'll carry out my original intention of resting my body.
それでね、今はこんなにひねくれちゃったけど、子供の頃は可愛かったのよ。人のことを疑わなかったし、お願いすれば何でも二つ返事で引き受けてくれたり。
うんうん。
でも妙に頑固なところがあってね、一度決めたことはなかなか変えなかったりしたっけ。そのあたり、桐次さんとは正反対だったかな。
桐次はシローとは正反対だったのですか？
そうだよ。桐次さんは何でも OK って人だったから、いいことも悪いことも人それぞれ、人生なるようになるさって人だったな。そのくせ困ってる人を見たら何とかしちゃうのよね。シロウもそんな桐次さんの真似ばっかりしてた。シロウは桐次さんよりはっきりしてたから、悪いことはダメだって町のいじめっ子をバンバン叩いてたっけ。うん、その時からシロウは正義の味方だったんだ。
Fujine happily talks about boring things, and besides, Fujine.
なぜシロウは正義の味方なのですか？
Saber asks me a natural question.
いや、なぜって聞かれても困る。単に憧れてるからじゃないか。
憧れている。その正義の味方に。
うん、まあそうだけど。
It's embarrassing if she says superhero outright.
それはどうして？
どうしてって。
I realized at that moment, there's no reason. Emiya Shirou has admired superheroes since he was a child. I kept on running so that I could be of help to people, so that I could help people who were sad. That does not change even now. But the reason behind it, why did I try to be of help to people? I'll make your dream. That's the answer. That was the end of the person that meant everything to me. He died peacefully because of a simple statement I made. I wanted to protect the trust he had in me, even after he died, so that he would be able to rest in peace. But, is that really the right reason?
シロウ、
Getting real introspective now, aren't we? I hear my name and get a hold of myself.
いや、悪い。先に戻る。
Driven by an unknown uneasiness, I get up. I leave the living room as if running away from something. No, not as if. I did run away. It was a natural question, but I was scared something might be revealed if Saber stared at me like that.
なんで？何が怖いってんだ、俺は。
An uneasiness that I don't understand myself. A shapeless fear. An attacking nausea. I hurry to my room, bearing the headache. Fujine went home, saying that she had work to do tonight. Saber is sleeping in the next room like yesterday. I can't sleep tonight either, so I stare into the darkness. It's not that I can't sleep because I'm conscious of Saber. Why do you try to be a superhero? It's because of those words. That question is still in my brain. She asked me why and I answered, because I admire them. It's obvious why I ran right away then. Because if she had asked me why I admired them, I wouldn't be able to come up with an answer. No, I have an answer. But I'm unconsciously restraining myself from ever saying it.
正義の味方である理由。
Why ask that now? I was just desperate to be like Kiritsugu when I was a child. I admired superheroes because there was an ideal I could not make come true. That should be the cause. The true form of the ideal I have. No, the ideal I've had since 10 years ago. I glared into the sky, thinking that if I could have saved someone, it would be a lie unless I could save everything. But which one is the lie? The ideal called the superhero that I've admired? The older I get, the more Emiya Shirou strays from the ideal. The ignorant child that did not know of the limits has learned of limits through knowledge. What cannot be saved, cannot be saved. A miracle is something too big for humans. But I believe I could be like Kiritsugu when I grew older. But all I obtained was the wisdom to conclude that an ideal is just an ideal. All I can do are remedial measures. Even though I've been attacked with the fact that it's meaningless, I've continued to do whatever I could, thinking that it's good enough if one person is saved by my actions. Even though my objective is to save as many lives as I can, I've lost a lot of things on the way, but I continued so that I wouldn't lose. Even if I'm battered by reality, I can keep standing if I don't accept the loss, even if I'm only bluffing. That ideal. The ideal not to hurt anyone is beautiful. I'll make your dream. Yes, I just thought that. If nobody was gonna do it, I would inherit his dream myself. That's why I must become a superhero. I have to succeed Kiritsugu and protect what he admired. If I can create no victims, and if everyone can keep living peacefully, how good would it?
So んなものはこの世のどこにもありはしない。
うるさい。やってみなくちゃわからないだろう。
I desperately reject the words that come to my mind. He told me to drown in my ideals and die. Those words are ominous, and if correctly predicting Emiya Shirou's end. February 8th. My dear Stray Dead. And I see his dream. The memory of the man who was set up as a hero. A story of a knight who was understood by no one. It was a simple story. In short, there was something wrong with him. He had some power, and he had some ambition, but he used his powers at the wrong places from beginning to end, and he died. It's only natural. Power exists to grant your own wishes. Compassion does no good for others. Kirei says so often, but everything is balanced because everything you do comes back to you. One gets energy because actions circle around to create more energy, but not having that means never being replenished. For example, if one lives for others and not oneself, I'm sure one would run out of power right away. If there was such a thing as disposable money, that's what it would be like. It'd be used by strangers and it'd only disappear after it's used. It's easy to take advantage of it, and that it'd be used is already a given. That's why in the end, he saw many betrayals and his life ended by someone he saved. It just makes me sad. I want to question him why. He worked hard, put in great effort even though he's an ordinary human being, and he managed a miracle with his own blood. And his compensation was betrayal and death. It's not even a joke, but he died satisfied. I have no intention of commenting on someone's life, but I can never accept that one thing. That's my impression of the dream I've seen a few times now. I usually wake up here, but it seems the dream continues today. He is standing in hell. It is a scene of some natural disaster, not the result of human conflict.
契約しよう。我が死後を預ける。その報酬をここにもらい受けたい。
He weaves through the words of contract. After that, he changed as though possessed by something and saved people who could not normally be saved. Oh, so this must be how he became a heroic spirit. Seeing it this way, it's nothing much. I bet the people he saved were not even in the hundreds. He cannot even be called a hero with such a number, nor would he be promoted to a heroic spirit. But the number isn't important. The qualification of a hero, one who surpasses humans, is to be able to save those that are fated to die. It is an alteration of fate. It does not matter if he does not have power as a hero, as long as he averted a disaster that could not be changed, however small in scope. No. The world would obtain a heroic spirit in compensation for the miracle. He became a hero and saved those that could not have been saved. As a result, he became a heroic spirit after he died, and he is now repeating what he was doing before he died. Being a servant. I guess compensation for a miracle is to become a convenient disposable tool that will fight for others even after one dies. Heroic spirits. Superior spirits chosen from amongst humans, the guardians of humanity. But they are not ones with free will like the servants. Heroic spirits are guardians of humanity. Guardians do not have free will, and they are treated as powers. They are called for to protect the world only when a factor appears that could destroy it. They are weapons that destroy these factors. The servant system is a summoning ritual that takes advantage of these guardians. The guardians are summoned into every age, eliminate the offending factor, and then disappear from this world. I would hate to be like that, but he must have been prepared to take on that role. No, he might have even wished for it. That it would be perfect if he could save people even after he died. Even though he did not have the power to save them when he was alive, he must have believed he could avert every tragedy if he became a heroic spirit. With that in mind, He made a contract with the world to give up his body after his death, and he saved 100 people. Believing that, he would be able to save tens of thousands of people afterwards. How stupid of him. That cannot be, because for a heroic spirit to be called upon, the place would already have to be in a place of death. Heroic spirits are summoned only into hell. They appear only when the world is about to be destroyed by people. Humans are the ones that will perish from their own doings, so the process of destruction must always be the same. Oh man, I don't like that. Jealousy, hatred, selfishness, desire. The man who loved people and tried to be of help to them was shown the same ugliness even after he died. He was called into such scenes and served this responsibility as a guardian. He killed. He killed and killed and killed and killed. He killed everyone that was around him when he was summoned to save humanity as a whole. I don't know how many times he repeated that, nor do I know how many times he will have to repeat it in the future. So there's only one thing I can say. He has been betrayed by many things, but in the end, he was betrayed by the only thing he believed in, his ideal. When I wake up, that's all I can say. My body feels tired and I can't move at all. My mind is the only clear thing and I blankly stare at the ceiling.
うすうすそうだろうとは思ってたけど、あれ、やっぱりあいつの記憶だったか。
I sigh and stare at the ceiling. This is hard. You could have told me that I might get a glimpse of his memory when I'm asleep because masters and servants are connected. If he had told me, I could have cut off my consciousness so that I wouldn't see such a thing.
起きよう。今日もいっぱいやることあるし。
I get up. My body is heavy and my eyelids are heavier than steel. I curse how I'm not a morning person and start changing into my uniform slowly.
けど、まあ。
I don't know if this is as I expected or not, but he used to be a hot-blooded man. I don't know what hero he is, but it seems he was more honest before.
まあ、それもあんな人生を送った挙句、死後もこんな目に遭わされちゃ、確かに性格歪むわよね。
I laugh it off. My face in the mirror looks serious and about to cry, but I decide to laugh, because I have to do so or I won't be able to face Archer normally. I get ready and drink the freshly brewed tea in the living room. I don't usually eat breakfast, so it's pretty quick. I have 15 minutes until I have to get going. This cup of tea is like a ritual I perform every morning to wake up my half-asleep body.
リン、いつまで遊んでいるつもりだ。
But there's one fool that cannot read his master's mind.
いつまでって7時半までよ。それを過ぎたら遅刻しちゃうじゃない。
誰が登校時間を言っているか。私が言いたいのは聖杯戦争のことだ。他のマスターと協力することは悪くない。だが、君の場合は選んだパートナーが悪すぎる。
はあ。
That again? Archer tells me to cut my ties with Emi or Shirou every chance he gets.
だからその気はないって言ったでしょ。アーチャーはそう言うけど、私は適任だと思う。そりゃ戦力としては不安だけど、協力者としては文句なしでしょ。そのエミヤくんなら何があっても裏切らないと思うしさ。
本来信頼は駆け引きで築くものだ。理由のない信頼などそれこそ信用ならん。いいか、あれは勝ち残れる人間ではない。協力者を選ぶというのならまだキャスターのマスターの方が賢い。
ふざけないでアーチャー。あんた私にあんな外道と志を同じにしろっていうの？
I put my teacup down and stare at Archer. Even if it may be sarcasm, I cannot ignore what he just said. The air freezes. I'm seriously pissed and Archer has no intention of backing down. We stare at each other for a while.
確かにキャスターは外道だが、あれはあれで実に魔術師らしい。その点で言えばリンは戦いには向いていない。魔術師ならば志より結果を取るべきだ。
皮肉を言っても無駄よ。私は方針を変えないわ。
まったくどうしたのだ一体。 エミやシロウと知り合ってからの君はおかしいぞ。以前の合理性はどこに行った？